Hello, it's Alice Klug. I am back with a market update. I am your friendly Victoria real estate agent in beautiful Vancouver Island, BC. Yes, I'm back, and I have something new with me as well. I splurged. I should get my cell phone on the shop. I splurged. I bought myself what I deem as Megadesk. This is Megadesk. I was doing Zoom recordings for a while because I didn't have a background for YouTube videos, but now I have Megadesk has, look at that, it opens and shuts. And I even have this, like, look how this is fancy. This is really fancy. And you see this is, you don't even know what this is. This is Mega Candy Jar. It's not just for decoration. This is going to be spilling out with candies eventually. Can you tell I'm excited about my new desk? Yeah, so this is where I will be filming my videos. And you see over my shoulder, look, an espresso machine. Come on, come on. Anyways, so I am back with a market update for November 2022. I know a lot of people are watching the market to see how things are shaking out, so let's take some time and go over how it went, and we'll also look into the future to see how we think things are going to go as well. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I have the stats for November 2022 from the Victoria Real Estate Board, so let's dive in. Yes, I'm reading off a paper. I know, I'm not a robot. I don't remember everything. So for unconditional sales, there were 384 unconditional sales in November 2022 versus last November there was 653 sales. So that's a reduction of 41.2%. So that's continuing. Last month it was 36% less year over year. So new listings, there was 785 new listings that came to market in November 2022 versus last November there was 696. So that's an increase of 11.31%. And active listings, there were 2,111 active listings on the market at the end of November versus last November there was 887. So that's an increase of 138%. But remember, last month in October there was also an increase in active listings year over year. It was, I think, 111%. So we're at a higher point now in November, but that's expected. So on the active listing side, as I said in the last update, in a balanced market, you could have anywhere between 2,500 and 4,000 active listings on the market. That would not be unusual. So 2,100 active listings is kind of in the norm, actually. It's really because we're swinging from one extreme from 2021 to now, where things are shifting, that it looks really extreme. But mind you, we're coming from an extreme market, so bear that in mind. Let's just take a big old grain of salt with that one, okay? The sales, yes, they are slow. They are slow. 384 sales passing through versus active listings being around 2,000. Yeah, not a lot of inventory is being eaten up right now, but that's just kind of how it is. The buying activity is very slow. A lot of buyers are sitting on their hands and they just don't know what they're wanting to do right now, right? They're seeing interest rates increase and they're thinking maybe prices are going to go down farther. It's projected to. We've been seeing stats that we could expect prices to drop 4% next year. I don't know if that's going to be accurate. We're going to see. We'll ride it out and we'll be there together going through this beautiful, beautiful market. Yeah. It's beautiful if you're a buyer, though. Kind of hard if you're a seller. I feel for you. So the benchmark home value for single family homes in the Victoria Core is 1.307 million, so roughly 1.3 million, versus last year in November 2021 that was 1.249400, so like 1.25 million was the benchmark home value. So that's an increase of 4.6% year over year. But if you're looking from October to November, that's a decrease of 2.6%. So there actually is that little trend where the prices are slowly reducing month to month, not just looking like a year apart. And so for benchmark condo value for Victoria condos, that is $587,800, so $587K, versus last year at the same time that was $536K roughly. So that's an increase of 9.6% year over year, which is a pretty good jump. But if you're looking month to month, so October to November, those prices for benchmark condo in Victoria, that's dropped 2.5%. So very similar to the single family homes. They're kind of dropping in unison, same kind of ratios. So the other thing we would look at, which I haven't looked at, I'm doing it right now with you, which is fun. Is the average price. So a lot of people like to look at the average and the median price, not just the benchmark home price. And I think the average and median prices are actually a better representation of what I'm seeing in the market. So let's check that out. So single family Greater Victoria homes, the average price is 1.186 million. I suck with the decimals. I'm going to screw it up. I'm not going to do it. 1.186 million. That is a reduction from last month to this month of 4.2%. Last year, comparing that, that's a reduction of 11.8% in the average. So that's pretty good. You know, we're seeing kind of what we're feeling. But in the median, here's an interesting one. And I'm not going to screw this up because this is easy. It's $1 million. So the single family Greater Victoria median price is $1 million, right on the money. And from last month to this month, that was 5.7% reduction in that median value. But looking last year on the median values and comparing that, that's 19.7%. And that feels accurate. That, you know, if you're seeing properties that are 900,000 now, but they were, say, 1.1, 1.2 million, that's where you're seeing these kind of changes. It does feel very, very fresh. This is very fresh for me. It feels that way. And, you know, I was showing a lot of single family homes just recently because I was helping people and we were hitting a lot of showings really hard. And a lot of these homes that are in that demographic, they are struggling to sell. And you know, I gotta say, there's a lot of homes out there that are really, they're gorgeous. And if they were listed last year, they would have been gone in a day. Like homes with a suite that are fully updated in good neighborhoods, priced pretty well, but they're kind of priced 6 months ago. And if you're priced like that, they're just not selling. And I would find probably a quarter of the properties that I had shown, and I was showing a lot, I'd say about a quarter of them within a week, I'd get an email saying, oh, we've taken it off the market and putting a tenant in it. So sellers are kind of just folding and saying we're going to wait it out too. So not just buyers, but sellers as well. If you're a buyer in this market and you are shopping with a realtor, or you're not, some people are not. If you're not, I think we have something going here. No. If you're a buyer and you're shopping in this market, even though I am a real estate agent, and I know people say you're salespeople, we're like the devil, whatever. I know people hate realtors and you think I'm gonna try and sell you something, but it's a good opportunity. And I'm saying that the same as I would say to my family or my friends. It's a good buying opportunity because a lot of the homes, say if you purchased a home now at 900,000 at a higher interest rate, say, I don't know, 5.6%, whatever people are kind of qualifying there. Say you're purchasing it at that lower price at that interest rate versus if you had purchased it at the lower interest rate and you paid maybe 1.25 million. I mean, that's reasonable. The people are getting that kind of value shift from how the market is changing. So if you did that and you actually run the numbers, you might actually find that you come out on top financially purchasing at the lower price with the higher interest rate. So a lot of mortgage brokers are actually doing those comparables to show people that the prices have dropped so much that you're actually, I'm not going to say you're saving money, but in some cases you kind of are saving money. So do consider that. I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm not going to go into the nuts and bolts of that. That's not my place. But I bet you have a mortgage broker you're working with, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to run those numbers for you to see if it makes sense. But I can't say it enough. It's a great, great time to buy because you're walking into the Christmas season. People are tired. They want to hang out, eat good food, put on a little weight, you know, watch a little TV, whatever, right? People want to relax. And if you're willing to go out there and view homes when it's cold and snowing and all that stuff, you will come out on top. You will get a deal. There's always good deals around this time of year anyways. This is not unusual. But because the market is so slow, if you're one of those buyers that's willing to go out there and, you know, face the uncertainty, I do think you will be rewarded. Sales pitch over. Not sales pitch, but you get what I mean. I'm giving you a talking to. If you're buying, this is a good opportunity. If I was looking to buy a home, I would take my own advice and hop in and start looking at properties. So I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't do. And the interest rate increases, as far as the mortgage brokers that we talked to have told us, they're not hearing anything about any huge increases beyond a possible small increase on December 7th. So take that for what you will. If you're a seller, again, just make sure your property is priced as well as you can. And in some cases, if you've slashed your price multiple times, sometimes I just have to say it's days on the market. It's just time. Christmas is not an easy time to sell. But you know, if it was me, I would just keep exposing it to the market and just keep trying. I do think, and a lot of realtors that I've talked to that have even gone through the 2008 recession, they believe it will bounce back in February, late February, March. Like, you get that spring market, and you have so many buyers sitting on their hands right now, and Victoria is infamous for buyers kind of move in waves, or like a herd. I hate to say it, but it's true. People get scared, they sit on their hands, everybody's doing the same thing, things grind to a halt, and then something changes, you know, and it gets a little bit more attractive, or the prices drop to the point where people think, oh, this is looking really good, and everybody rushes in all at the same time. So it seems a little predictable that we're going to see a bit of a rush in the spring, because there's so much pent up buying motivation that people are just like standing back. And I just have seen it so many times. People don't really sit on the sidelines for too long, and it's just everybody's doing the same thing right now. So if you're a seller, just hunker down. Don't take it personal. I'm sure your house is lovely and it will sell. It's a time thing. So anyways, let's get on to another change that we've seen in the market recently. So aside from the numbers and the benchmark prices, the other thing that's changed since my last market update is that Bill 44 has passed. I know you've heard of it. You live in BC, most likely. So I know I'm not telling you anything new, but I'm just going to talk about it because it just happened. So on November 24th, a new Strata Property Act was passed, or an amendment to that. And essentially what it does is it prohibits stratas from enforcing rental bylaws and age restriction bylaws. So that doesn't stop 55 plus buildings from existing, because I think we can all agree that seniors need, a haven to be around people of their demographic and kind of relax and enjoy their golden years. But anything below 55 plus, say a 19 plus building or a 45 plus building, those are done. So forget about it. It's some people are happy about it, some people are not so happy about it. It depends where you're coming from, and if you're a renter or if you're not, or if you want to be in a building without children or you want to live with children. So depends on how you look at it. But that has changed, and also the rental restrictions have changed. So any rental restrictions whatsoever, except for Airbnb bylaws being enforced, or like short-term vacation rentals being enforced against, it's totally open. So if you were looking at buildings, for example, that were limiting rentals at 5 per time, or they were saying no rentals, that's gone. That is done. So even if you're looking on the MLS and you're seeing these strata units that are saying, no rentals, limited rentals, that just hasn't been changed in the MLS, and the Realtor is probably getting around to it very soon because it was a big change. So yeah, so if you see that, just know that that's now an unrestricted rental, and there's opportunity there if you're looking at stratas. Definitely give it some time, give it some thought. I've messaged all my people telling them, if you're looking for an opportunity, there are strata units that were restricted in rentals, and they were listed at that kind of valuation considering the restrictions upon the unit. And I'm not seeing a lot of price increases on these listings. In fact, there was only one price increase I think I've seen in the past couple days. So they're kind of riding it out at the same price that they were listed at before they were unrestricted. So if you're looking for an opportunity with strata units, I'd definitely jump on that if I were looking for another property. So keep it on your radar if that's something that's, you're wanting to invest in. set up a search. And I'm not saying it because I'm a real estate agent and everybody thinks we're trying to sell you something. I'm not. It's just this is a huge change and the market has not adjusted for that, and it's not showing in those valuations on those condos that have faced the change. So take it with a grain of salt, do your own research. Don't take it from me, the salesperson, which I don't even like calling myself that. But I'm telling you because it's a good opportunity. So get on your computer and go look if you want to invest. And call me when you're ready to, when you want to look, call me. I'll help you. But yeah, so that has changed recently, and that was a biggie. Coming up in the new year, we also have the rescission period, which we'll see how it goes. I did a webinar on the rule changes and allowing buyers to back out after 3 business days, and you know, the general consensus is it seems like it's not going to be that big of a thing. I think if it happened like a year ago, I think that would have really affected the market, but I think people are just going to put subjects in their offers, which is what everybody's doing right now anyways. So we'll see, you know, if the market ramps up into a frenzy again, perhaps that rescission period will really change things. But for the time being, I would say don't worry too much about it. And, you know, if you're a buyer, I would say also if you're going in unconditional, I mean, we want to try and complete a sale if we're committing to it. So it's not really just like a way to, you know, make offers and be flippant about it, you know, because the backing out fee is quite low. So it's kind of tempting if you don't like a property anymore, you can just walk away. So anyways, I will leave it with that for this month. Hopefully you're well and enjoy the holidays. I hope you have a lot of fun and spend a lot of time with family and eat lots of bad food. And yeah, gain some weight, live a little, right? Okay, so I'll catch you in January and have a good one. Bye.